Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Garden of Sports Fantasy Basketball Podcast. I'm your host, Jake Gardner, alongside my brother, Zach.
What's up, everybody?
And our weekly guest, Zach Sills.
Howdy. Thanks for having me on.
Of course.
Yeah, man. And, haven't had Zach Gardner in a couple weeks here, so it's going to be nice to...
Yeah, it's good you guys let me on your show. I'm excited to be here. Hope to make this, a regular thing.
For sure. And if listeners haven't been here before, we do our 3x3 pickups to start. That's each of us give our top 3 grabs. And then we go into surprises of the week, injuries, streamer and deep league moves, and then trade targets. So without further ado, let's jump in. No transition noise. Here we go. So, weekly 3x3, I'll start us off. My top guy, Killian Hayes. Last 2 games, averaging 35.5 minutes, 16.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, 8.5 assists, 2.5 steals, 0.5 blocks. I mean, he's just all around putting up big numbers in the past 2 when he's getting these heavier, high 30 minutes, I think. And especially with the news about Cade Cunningham, could be shut down for the season. It's not official yet, but I think this is a guy you can hold, you grab and hold the rest of the way. So
that sucks.
And he's still, gosh, I didn't put the percent owned here. He's only 19.7% rostered in ESPN leagues. I'm sure that's a bit higher in Yahoo, but still most likely under 50%. So you should be grabbing him right away, in my point of view.
Yeah, I think I agree for sure. He looks like he's doing great.
For sure. But yeah, if you guys, Zach Sills, who you got, bro?
Yeah, just definitely agree about Killian. And I was on mine. It says 12, so even be lower than 19, but still.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at his average.
That's way too low, in my opinion, because of what you said about Cade. Pretty unclear. So, especially if you're a Cade owner, you want to get Killian Hayes.
Yeah, man.
But my pick for the weekly 3x3, my first one will be Shake Milton.
Oh my God!
Nice. So this guy is averaging 37 minutes since Maxey went down 7 games ago. In those 7 games, Milton's averaging 39 fantasy points.
My God.
Pretty insane. That's I don't know what you get out of a second round draft pick.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But, he has 22.6% rostered on him, so he's still out there in a lot of leagues. Definitely if you're in a 10-man league, he might be out there more so than in a 12-man. And I would say must roster until Maxey is back, which is projected to be 3, maybe 4 weeks. So.
Yeah, that's a good one. He's one of the best players over this last week, so yeah, that's definitely a good guy to go get.
Numbers. Yeah, the guy's going for a triple-double with averaging 20 points in the past 4 games.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
Yeah, who do you got, bro?
I got Terrence Mann. He's only 6.5% rostered, so he's pretty much out there. He's been starting the last 3 games with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard both being hurt, this last week. He's averaging 27 fantasy points in the 3 games since he's been a starter. So I think it's a great move for the time being until whenever Paul George and Kawhi come back. But for now, he's going to go back into that starting role that he was in a lot last year. Because Kawhi didn't really play last year, so we know Mann, when he gets into the starting 5, can put up numbers. So this is a cheeky little move right now.
Yeah, and you can get him in almost any league.
Yeah, he's out there.
No doubt. So I like it, dude.
Yeah.
Can't argue
And,
with that because they said for both Kawhi and Paul George they're out indefinitely. So
Yeah,
Whoa.
that's what I mean. That's what you're used to with with Kawhi at least.
yeah,
You're like, you're gonna get like, you know, him sitting 3 out of 4 games every week.
yeah. Well, let's not talk about it. My second guy off the board here, Isaiah Stewart. He's finally returning tonight, and even before that, he was only up to like 33%, and then once he got hurt, was dropped a lot. He's down to 18% rostered in ESPN leagues. And before that, he averaged 27.7 fantasy points, and he's a starting center. So, whenever you can get your hands on a starter who is likely to get heavy minutes, when they're fully healthy, I think you go get that guy.
There you go. I agree. Definitely want to always get a starting center whenever you can.
Yeah, and he
So-
was probably dropped, right, with the
Yeah, he was dropped
injury.
pretty heavily. Yeah,
Damn.
and he was
So,
just
yeah.
finding his stride before that too.
Yeah, all he has
Nearly
to do.
averaging a double-double.
So, Duran, even with Stewart out, Duran wasn't really getting that many minutes. They're taken by Bagley, I think. So,
Yep.
it'll probably be
Yeah, and
just
he's
that
better than
duo,
Bagley.
and
I mean,
Stewart.
they'll probably start next to each other, and yeah, they could take away from each other. Or I mean, there's a lot of big men duos that both do great. So, but I think still the more talented player is Stewart. I mean, just proven over the past year that he can actually stay on the court. Like Bagley is always getting hurt again. So,
Mhm.
I mean,
Big Detroit guy today, huh?
if you can have both, yeah. Well, yeah, I was surprised to see Isaiah Stewart was back. I didn't know. So,
I like it.
yeah, love Detroit though. Love them.
All right. My next guy is Dennis Schroeder. No.
Birdman.
Schroeder is back fully from his thumb injury. He was kind of getting worked into the rotation, but now he's starting in LA over Pat Bev, who was the starter. And in that spot, he's almost matching the usage of Russ in minutes. He's getting 30 minutes in his last 3 games. In the last 3 games is when he's kind of taken over that starting role. And also in the last 3 games, averaging 24.6 fantasy points, which is pretty solid, especially for just kind of getting back into the swing of things. I think he could get up there a little bit more. I don't think go crazy or anything, but it could be a nice consistent roster piece. And with him in that starting role, gives him a lot of potential for assists. He's already averaging 5 over the first 3 games. It's pretty solid. And then Schroeder, he's only 24.5% rostered. So people have picked him up a little bit, knowing that he's back. But now that he's starting, that number will probably go up even more.
For sure. Yeah, I think you're right. He's just getting his legs under him. He's got to find his rhythm. I think, well, you could see it since the first game back, but his points are going to go up. His assists are going to go up. He'll probably level out around, 13 points a game, hopefully 5 to 6 assists. And if he can keep throwing steals in there, then yeah, he's definitely worthy of a roster spot.
Definitely with the steals.
He's going to 4 steals in 6 games, so that's pretty good. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Zach,
that's a pretty good one. My next guy is Caleb Martin. He is on Miami. He's only 13.4% rostered. Right now he's day-to-day with a non-COVID illness, but he might not even miss a game. So I don't know if that's anything to worry about or not. But I wouldn't really, since it's a non-COVID illness thing, I still wouldn't let that deter you from going to pick him up if you want. Over the last week, week and a half, he's been shooting lights out. In the last 3 games, he's over 20 points per game, and he's getting heavy rebounds. And he is just doing great. He's averaging like well over 30 the last like week, and right now he's a great grab until Jimmy Butler comes back, whenever that will be. But he's taking that starting role and running with it and looking very good right now.
Yeah.
Jake.
Go ahead, Zach. Yeah, dude. What was it against Caleb Martin? Yeah, I think he's just an automatic stream whenever Jimmy's out. Like, look at these insane minutes. He's getting near 40 minutes a night. And he's not only averaging over 20 points the past 3 games, like you said, but the rebounds are getting heavy, the steals, even the blocks, dude. I mean, I guess he's just went to Jimmy Butler camp, I guess, because he's doing the kind of things Jimmy does in his place.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not trying to look up Jimmy's. Butler knee appears likely to miss the first of 2 contests in Boston this week. So remains hopeful to return for the game on Friday. So that's not even a guarantee.
Okay.
So
maybe you can at least get another week.
Stream. Yeah.
Maybe another week out of it.
For sure.
He was always a decent streamer, like, because he would still, I think, be in the starting lineup. So he would still get like 28 minutes, even 30 minutes every now and then. But he wouldn't get this kind of production. But there's just so many more opportunities that Jimmy has gone.
Right.
He's just taking advantage of, and you love to see that. Yeah, I'm going crazy. Great pickup. If you can't, 13%. Sure. Yeah, that's pretty low.
Humana.
I might regret my third pickup here because I'm reading some new information. But my third guy is Markelle Fultz. Zach?
Oh, yeah, Markelle Fultz.
Hurt his foot before the season, or his toe before the season. He's been out this whole time. He's supposed to make his season debut tomorrow, but apparently so is Cole Anthony. So the minutes breakdown, we'll have to see how that plays out, but I still like Fultz upside, and at least in deep leagues, he's only 9% rostered, 8% rostered, and you could go get him easily, stash him on your bench, see what he does, but they were lacking guard depth for a long time. Jalen Suggs is also out right now, so it could be Fultz and Cole Anthony. But keep an eye on it. I didn't really know about the Cole Anthony thing, but yeah, Fultz is the long-term play, like if Orlando was being smart. Not that they are. And yeah, I don't know how you guys feel about him, but at his peak last year, he was averaging around 30 fantasy points a game. And
I'm interested in it. I definitely like it, but I definitely want to see who, because I know Cole Anthony can put up some good numbers too. So I just want to see which one.
Yeah, breakout year last year. I would say I'll just put him as like a combo grab because Cole Anthony is only 37.3% rostered. So in a 10 team league, he would be available.
Right.
So I might honestly pick Cole Anthony first because he did break out last year. But then if he's not available, you're in a deeper league, maybe 12-man or 14-man, grab Fultz because Cole Anthony's probably already gone.
Yeah. I'm definitely a fan of that move.
Yeah, I like Fultz, especially since Suggs is out now too with an ankle. So I think you will. I don't know. You might see Cole Anthony and Fultz out there at the same time.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
So, yeah, definitely interested.
Sure.
Okay.
Who you got, bro?
Well, next, with Kyle Anderson on the Timberwolves. So Anderson, I think he had an injury earlier this year, came back, and he's kind of seen pretty consistent minutes and fantasy points, averaging 21 minutes and 19 fantasy points, so pretty productive for the amount of minutes. So
Very
since
nice.
Cat went down, it's very possible you could see a little bit more Kyle Anderson, maybe bumping up the minutes, maybe like upper 20s. So it's very possible with Cat being out that he gets a little bit more increased usage and could be a little bit more valuable as a streaming option. It is kind of a deeper league pick because he's only 4.5% rostered, but you never know. You could switch it up.
Yeah, so yeah, with the Anthony Towns injury, Anderson's gonna probably get up closer to 30 minutes, you think? And he'll average good fantasy points. Yeah.
Very, very
All right,
possible.
yeah, I can see that. I know Anderson's usually a pretty good, decent streaming option most years. He'll go on a heater every now and then where you want to pick him up. So with him getting more minutes now, I could definitely see that.
Yeah, the only competition is Naz Reid, I think. He's more of a true center, though. Not as much of a 4. But it'll be interesting to see. Just something to keep your eye on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 2 years ago, I think the first half of the season, Kyle Anderson broke out, and he was averaging 30 fantasy points a game.
Wow.
That was with the Grizzlies, but then he had a slower second half, but he's proven it before. It's not like this is a shot in the dark. Like, when he gets the minutes, he can put up numbers. So, I like it. And you could basically grab him anywhere. So, check it out.
There you go. And then my wrapping up the 3x3 here, I got D'Anthony Melton. He is at 32.2% rostered. I know, pretty high. But he's available still, in about 70% of leagues, he's still out there. So he is averaging 33.6 minutes, 15 points, 3.8 rebounds, 3.6 assists, and 3.2 steals since he's been getting starting minutes over the last week plus. So he's definitely a great grab right now. He did finish in the top 8 this last week in our fantasy leagues in points. So the guy, if you can go get your hands on him, he's just putting up great numbers right now in the starting lineup. So
yeah, man, I think I'd put him over your other two guys, honestly. If I had to rank them, Shake Milton, D'Anthony Melton are got to be the top 2 contingency grabs.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, people are just not picking them up enough. They've been doing good for almost 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, great grab. No argument here. Let's go into surprises of the week. My surprise,
to be sure, but a welcome one.
Gotta let Palpatine talk, dude. Come on.
I forget. Yep, I messed up. But I have Anthony Davis. Oh my god. He's going insane this past week, and he's putting up MVP type numbers. Averaged 68.9 fantasy points in our points league this past week, and you just can't not highlight that.
That's pretty fucking insane.
Man probably can't keep it up, but this is pretty crazy.
No, I mean, his nickname's Street Clothes for a reason.
Yeah. But you just look at those games. It's when LeBron was out. When LeBron was out, he's just going insane.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome when he plays. And I mean, that though is just, that's even beyond awesome. That's just amazing.
37 and 21, 37 points, 21 rebounds. That's insane.
Yeah, dude. Zach, who you got, bro? Gardner?
Is it Gardner?
Oh, that's me. Okay. Yeah, I got Shake Milton.
Oh, wow.
I got him being the 3rd best scorer in our league over the last week. I know we talked about him up in our 3x3. put him in my surprise just because, you know, you see all the guys that are up in like the top 10 of scoring, and it's like pretty, you know, big name guys, and then you see Shake Milton up there, number 3. The dude's performing so good right now. Never really was a big fan of his, but he's never really been getting starting minutes like this. But he's normally like a good streaming option. But I mean, just what he's doing now is pretty crazy.
Yeah, he's above AD.
Yeah.
Over the past week.
Points 4. Yeah.
Crazy.
He missed the game. Of course.
Oh, yeah.
But, Sills, who you got, man?
All right. Mine is another kind of over-exceeding expectations guy in Tyrese Halliburton. And Halliburton for the year is the 7th most fantasy points for, which is probably overperforming where you drafted him, probably in the 2nd round in most leagues. He's outpacing a lot of first-rounders, the likes of Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's like,
man, and
it's like they say, like that orc said in Lord of the Rings, it's like the age of the center is over. The age of the guard has begun.
Oh my god.
It's seeming like it, though. Like you see.
Yeah, he
off as well.
was somebody that people were scared to draft because he was projected in the 2nd round. But it was because of this reason. You know, he was in that late trade last year from Sacramento. And then they knew he had this window to dominate because there's just not many other players on the team. So I didn't think he'd be putting up 1st-round value, though. This is insane.
Yeah.
And even I was kind of hoping... I was fading him to, like, the 3rd round. I was hoping to get him to the 3rd, but I wasn't reaching for him in the 2nd.
Yeah, call him, you know, call him hella buckets. Because that's all he does is just get buckets. That's all he does is just get buckets, dude. That's all he does is just score. He's just crazy. Ever since he came into the league, I remember nobody's ever been really excited about him, but all he's ever done since he got drafted is just score buckets. Like,
that's true.
And the assists are insane. I mean,
yeah,
he could win the assist title this year. Keeps picking it up. 11.3. I mean, is he the assist leader?
That's a crazy fucking high assist number to average. Could be.
Let me check real quick. It
is.
It is Halliburton right now. I was gonna say, like, it's just
that's
crazy. All right, let's go into key injuries. All right, man, I'm going to go as fast as possible just through ESPN's injury update site. Jaylen Brown, neck. He missed Monday's game, questionable for Wednesday. Rob Williams expected to return by Christmas. So that's good news. People were a little skeptical because he got injured right before the season that he might miss even longer time than that. And he's made great progression. So if you stashed him, you're going to reap the rewards here. Brooklyn Nets Ben Simmons' knee has been ruled out for Wednesday's matchup, so here we go again. Enjoy. He was just getting hot, and then he injured himself, so
gotta
fun
love
stuff.
it.
Yeah. LaMelo Ball was ruled out for Monday's game, and not good news. Not any good news there yet, and just re-injuring the same ankle that kept him out, over a month to start the season is pretty scary, and I feel like they're going to be extra cautious the second time around because they brought him back obviously too quick. Kind of sucks. Gordon Hayward will be sidelined for the foreseeable future due to a fractured left shoulder.
Yikes.
I didn't even realize that, but he'd just gotten back from an injury.
Oh my god, that just sounds awful. I'm feeling like residual pains just from hearing that. Go.
Oh my gosh. Jared Allen back will remain out
Fractured left shoulder. That is cringeworthy.
Yeah. So Jared Allen ruled out a day ahead of a game, so that makes me feel like could be a couple away. Kevin Love will not play Wednesday also. And then here we go. Michael Porter Jr. heel is out Wednesday. Any injury with him you're scared of, but if it's not his back has been like the major issue since he's gotten drafted, so at least it's something else. Jaden Ivey, game time decision for Tuesday, so keep an eye on him. I mean, if he went down, they'd be losing a lot of guard depth because Cade, like we've been talking about, isn't looking good.
Real quick, Jake. He's out.
Yeah.
He's out Tuesday.
Okay, he's out now? Dang. Yeah. All right. Kawhi Leonard will sit through at least Wednesday's game, is what it says. So, okay.
Cool.
At least. So, that's awesome. Love to hear it. John Wall missed Tuesday's game. I mean, wow, what a super team. Paul George.
Do you think Kawhi and Anthony Davis like make extra money like during the season, like performing on like street corners?
Oh my god. No.
Like they're doing like a little like they're in like a little quartet or something. I don't know.
Kawhi would do like the statue man because he's so he could do it easily and just sit there and he'd make good money. Put his hat out there. I'm a fun guy. Paul George, hamstring. He missed on his game. There's not been an update since. Trying to just keep on the fantasy relevant here. Dylan Brooks day to day, no comment on it. That's cool. Desmond Bain, this isn't a good update, is no longer in a walking boot for his toe and is resumed doing light work with the team staff. So
good, because I need him back.
Yeah, I knew you'd love to hear that. Holy crap. Miami Heat, their injury report's got to be the biggest I've ever seen. It's like 10 guys.
Mm-hmm.
How many are you allowed to even roster? This is insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But the most fantasy relevant, Jimmy Butler appears likely to miss at least 2 of the contests. They're hoping for him Friday. We talked about that earlier. Max Strus probable to play Wednesday. Good news. Tyler Hero, questionable mark for Wednesday.
They got a playoff worthy injury report. Like,
yeah, dude. Chris Middleton will remain unavailable for Wednesday, but he did, I think, come back from the G League to the team, so he should be very close to returning. Karl Anthony Towns, this is the biggest one that everybody knows about, but sidelined for 4 to 6 weeks. He pulled his calf, just non-contact injury, so hope for the best. CJ McCollum, COVID-19 protocols is cleared protocols, is questionable for Wednesday. Ingram, toe, remains out Wednesday. Jeez, there's so many injuries this week. Jalen Suggs, ankle has been ruled out for Wednesday. Wendell Carter, foot has been ruled out for Wednesday. They're tanking. Come on. Jonathan Isaac, the man who will never return. The last update was from October 20th. So, dude, he just doesn't exist. He could be dead. I don't know, man. Tyrese Maxey, foot, out approximately 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, we've known that. So he's a week into that.
Yeah.
Chris Paul update. Been ruled out for Wednesday's game. You got to think he's close to returning. He's been out over a week. Damian Lillard calf has been diagnosed with a grade 1 strain. Okay, we knew that. Sorry, guys. This is so extensive. This is the longest I've ever seen it.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Mike Conley, lower leg will not suit up for Monday against the Bulls, so he missed Monday. And that's it. That's the fantasy relevant injuries. Whoa, fun stuff.
Thanks, Coach.
Let's get into streamers and deep league moves.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're just going to do 2 each here. My first guy, Dorian Finney-Smith. Last 2 games have been pretty solid. He kind of does these little streaks like this, it seems, but he is I think he's the main big man behind Woods, right? Or Christian Wood. So, and he gets these heavy minutes, so you think he would produce more like this more often. He gets 33 minutes a game on average. But his numbers across the board are low. But the last 2 games he's been averaging, he got 16 and 13 points, 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 2.5 steals. So, just someone in a deep league, I'd like him in a 14 team, and then 12 team. I'd be watching him, see if he can string some games like consistently together.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, who do you guys got? Zach Sills.
I got Zach Collins for the Spurs. So he came back from a back injury, which sidelined him for maybe 3 weeks-ish. But total before that, and then he's played a few games since that he looked pretty solid, and he played pretty par for the course for these averages. He was averaging 22.4 fantasy points on 18 minutes, which is pretty solid, especially if you're in a deep league and maybe just need a streamer. I think that's probably about what you get unless he sees some increased minutes.
Very nice. I mean, he does have a winner's name, so at least we'll give him that to start.
Good.
Right, Zach?
1.5 roster, 1.5% rostered on him as well. But yeah,
For sure. Yeah, we talked
go.
about him earlier in the year, and then obviously he went down, but just a pretty consistent player across the board. 22.4 fantasy points. That's more than most guys you can grab in a 12-man league. And even 14 team, that's a guaranteed. I think grab him for the bottom of your bench.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
For a consistent floor.
Very nice. I got Denny Avdia.
That's pretty cool, I guess.
I agree. It's pretty cool. He's, this is a very deep league move for sure. I mean, that is the section we're in, so obviously. He's a great streaming option. He's a very up and down player, so you just kind of got to get lucky and hope that you got one of the good nights, because it seems like I'm always picking him up after a good night, and then he does his crappy night, and then I drop him, and then his next game will be another good one, and I'm just like, what the hell? So you kind of just got to maybe just play every other game with him, because that's kind of how it looks. If you look at the last couple of weeks, it's just like he'll score 30, then he'll score 10, he'll score 35, then he'll score 18. But on his best nights, he scores and he gets good rebounds and assists, close to triple double type numbers. So just keep an eye on if he's going to be getting consistent starting minutes if Porzingis goes out, because with Porzingis's injury history. So, just keep your eye on Avdia. He's already a good streaming option, but if, Porzingis injury happens, be ready to jump on him.
Yeah, definitely agree.
Seems like his floor isn't too bad from the past few games as well. His ceiling is very high also, with 41.
His floor is pretty low though, because he can have a night where he only does 10 fantasy points.
True.
Yeah, being behind Porzingis and Kyle Kuzma just hurts him, but if either of them go down, he's proven, even last year when those guys have missed games, he's proven he can put up really good numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a first round draft pick. It was a year that it's kind of a weak draft class, I guess, but still, he has great potential, and keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
There you go. Who's your next guy, Jake?
Yeah. My next guy, Thaddeus Young. Yeah, super fun. Continues to have a very solid couple weeks here.
I was looking at him.
Yeah, he's just a good stream. He could do these kind of big numbers, near double numbers when he's getting the minutes. And he's filling in for the hurt Toronto Raptors right now. So I just think he's a great stream. He's not some long-term move, but deep league, you could go look at his numbers, very consistent over the past 7 games of getting near 30 minutes a night. So
yeah, those are good minutes.
yes, sir.
Take it.
Who you get?
Option. So next I got a very deep league streamer potential because we don't know yet, and it is Kemba Walker.
Oh man.
The news came out Monday that he plans on signing with Dallas. I don't think he has signed with Dallas, but the fact that they put that on the fantasy app that he plans to do it just makes me feel like they are going to do it, or that he is going to sign with.
I thought I read he did.
Did he?
It's not official? I read he's unavailable for the next game, or Wednesday.
Okay, well,
they did sign him.
they did sign. Okay,
And they waived Campazzo.
gotcha.
Hmm.
Okay, thank you for that.
No, I think...
does.
Yeah, go ahead. You give the take.
It does, make it a little bit more viable as a streaming option. We just have to see what he does here when he plays. He could take over that role that they lost when they traded away Brunson. Nice, someone who can dish the ball a little bit, handle the ball up the court, and he's currently at 1.9% rostered. But here's why more of a streamer is because Kemba's only averaged 45 games played over the past 3 seasons. So it's not someone you really want to have rostered because
I still think it's a great... It's like you can't grab him yet in even a 12-man, but 14 team I would. I think he's hungry and he's not ready to leave the league yet. 32 in the NBA, you're still in your prime if you've been an all-star before to his level. And I think they need a 6-man. They don't have the depth, and this would be their scoring off the bench. I think he could do really well here. So I'm not ready to grab him in our league yet, but gotta be watching him. It's gonna be like a quick trigger.
See what he does first, and then make the decision from there.
Heck yeah.
We can go. I'm already looking to add Kemba Walker.
Are you pulling up your phone?
I was looking, but I just don't. I have so many good guards. I just don't know how I can fit him into my team. But I'm gonna try.
Oh my god! What a flex.
No, I just am very guard heavy. I got a lot of ones, so I just don't know. I got to figure out how I'm going to swing it, but I'll figure it out. I'm going to get him.
I'm trying to look at your worst player right now. Yeah, you might not have room for him yet.
Yeah, I don't.
Unless you're ready to give up on Caleb Martin, but probably not.
Yeah, not yet. So I don't know if I'll be able to get him or not, but we'll see. Yeah, that's a really good one. But then I got my last guy, Jeremiah Robinson Earl.
Settle down just a little bit.
Yeah, so he starts on and off, but when he does start, can get a double-double. Pretty much whenever he does start, you know that you can just pencil him in for a double-double. But it's it really is on and off. Every other game, he's starting, he's not. He's starting, he's not. So it's kind of tough to fully on-hold him right now. But he's one of the few big men on OKC, and he's also, just a little something to note. He's getting a lot of steals lately, so I don't know. Maybe that will get him into the coach's good graces and get him into that starting 5, and he could put himself into hold category if he can get consistent playing time.
Yeah, great deep league move right now. If you just go off the past 4 to 6 games, you could see the inconsistency, but you can see that he is getting increased opportunity, and they are weak at big men, the big man level.
Yeah.
He's basically the second best big man in my eyes. So when they're going to be running out bigger lineups, he'll be starting. And when they're running small ball, he won't, but that's why it'll make it a great stream. I would say just look at the team they're about to play each game and see what kind of lineups they roll out, how big are their big men. Like if they have Embiid, he's probably starting. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
And then if basketball doesn't work out, he could always go back to the beet farm that he came from, because it's definitely where he came from with that name.
I thought you were talking about because like the 5 head or something. But
No, just Jeremiah Robinson Earl just sounds like a farmer, a farmer name. So, man,
beet farm. Oh my God.
beet farm.
All right, let's break into trades.
Yes.
Let's do buy lows first. I'll take it away here. Rudy Gobert. He will be taking over the starting center for up to 6 weeks. And even before this has happened to Cat, he was having a very underwhelming season. Gobert has. The last 3 to 4 seasons, he's been averaging 40 fantasy points or more. Obviously, like big double-double guy. And this year he's at 34. And like he's just been missing some easy shots around the rim and hasn't found his stride. I think this would be his chance to get back to that level. And I think you could get him cheaper if people don't read the writing on the wall as well. You might have to give up a little bit more, but it's not like this is Cat's out full time, so maybe somebody is still trying to get rid of him regardless. And I thought even before Towns went down, he could pick it up from 34. Like 34 that's way below his average. So I want to buy low on him. I already tried talking to Zach Sills. He wouldn't budge. But,
Yeah.
in another league
Can't do
without
it.
pros. Yeah.
But I do see how people could be a little bit frustrated with Rudy's performance this far this season. He has, just been underperforming on a lot of nights, and a lot of times you need the 20 extra points that you expected from him. So, you could see a lot of frustration. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who I would need to give him up. Maybe.
I mean, you would need. I offered.
I would need
2 guys, and you said no. I offered
Yeah.
Jaren Jackson Jr. and another guy, and you said hell no.
Well,
So
I
it would have to be bigger than that.
True. Yeah, but that is also because of the Cat
You're
situation.
just high on his next 6 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll go next with my buy low, and that will be another guy I have on my fantasy team, and it's Kyrie Irving. So right now, I think you could potentially buy low on Kyrie. We've seen what he's done earlier this season before the suspension. He was averaging about 40 fantasy points in 37 minutes. He's still getting those minutes, but the past few games he's getting mid-20s fantasy points, 30. He did get 37 the other night.
Yeah.
But
last 7, 32.4 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's underperforming
low.
from what he did pre-suspension. So I think you could potentially.
And the owner could still have a headache, right?
Right.
From
right. Very true.
Everything.
Very true. But I think he's going to get back to that pre-suspension form here pretty soon, especially with Simmons out and just more potential volume.
This would probably still be as heavy as Gobert, like trying to get it done. Because, I mean, just the profile player, I kind of put them near each other. They're like both 3rd to 4th rounders.
Very, very true.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely would take a lift, but yeah, that's why we go over it. You got to buy low, got to try.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with them saying no.
And I think my guy here is definitely low, very, very low. Pretty pretty low. I got Keegan Murray.
Wow.
Yes, he's been a very, very booty cheeks player so far this year. Very disappointing.
Yeah.
He's only 60% rostered now. That's down a lot. Yeah, I know he was up over 85 at the start of the year, maybe even close to around 90% owned at the start of the season after the drafts. And I know that I drafted him at a pretty decent spot. I think I got him like 8th, 9th round or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 9th, 10th round.
I'll tell you here. 7th.
7th round. Awesome. Yeah, he's only averaging 10.4 points and 3.8 rebounds per game on the season. That's not near what we were expecting from this young. We were expecting like a breakout year from him, and he's putting up really, for a power forward starting caliber, the 3.8 rebounds is awful.
Yeah, I think the hope was he would mesh better with Domantas Sabonis, but so far it's just been the Sabonis show, and Keegan Murray hasn't been able to do much of anything.
Gotcha.
But
do you guys think he can turn it around?
Low. I do, but you could even wait and see if they drop him. I mean,
true.
In super competitive leagues, he might be dropped for like some of our top grabs up there that are only 30% rostered.
I might be dropping him soon. I'm not ready to do it yet, though, because I am still holding out hope. But if somebody else sends me an offer, I'd be very intrigued.
Yeah, no, in our league, I wouldn't drop him if I were you, because we are like that deep, and you're grabbing guys that are most likely under 20 fantasy points per game, and this is
I drop him, and you get in the swarm of flies, which is our league, will be all over him like flies on shit.
Yeah, well, he is pretty shitty right now. Yeah,
true. He's a very poopy boy right now, but
yeah, dude, his numbers, these are so bad.
It's
hard to defend him.
Yeah, I was high on him when we were doing those mock drafts. I was like wanting.
I remember you guys talking about him. I was kind of happy to see him. I was happy to draft him where I drafted him this year.
Yeah,
like I was like, this is a good move here in the 7th round, and now I'm like, I could have drafted him. I could have just not drafted him at all. That's how he's performing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Mm-hmm. If he is not dropped in your league in the next couple of weeks, I would say, like, one of the guys that is one of our top pickups. So say Shake Milton, who's putting up these great numbers, but eventually it's going to stop when certain players are back from injury. Near the end of their run, you hear about James Harden's coming back soon. I'd send that guy over to get this guy. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Or an upside second half player.
Yeah,
because that's going to be his chances the second half, like post All-Star break.
Yeah,
if they're not in the runnings for playoffs, I think they are though.
If somebody wants to send me like Markelle Fultz, I might take that right now.
You could grab him for free right now.
Oh, is he available in our league? Okay.
Yeah,
interesting.
He is, unless somebody grabbed him in the last 30 minutes during the show.
Interesting.
Let me just look at the standings. Kings are in the playoff. They're in the playoffs. They're 7 seed. So, yeah, it really depends. If they fall out of playoff contention, then Keegan would definitely get more of a chance. But if they stay in playoff contention, they're going to keep with their winning strategies.
Yeah.
So, I would still send the guy that you're eventually going to drop anyway at the end of their run. Send them for Keegan.
True.
But I wouldn't give much more than that just because of what we see. It's just not good.
Yeah, but he is a young guy. You never know. Look at Jabari. Look what happened to Jabari. He had a rough few weeks. He had a rough start in general, and now he's kind of picking it up. But
Jalen Smith last year was
roller coaster.
Bad, not good until the second half. So,
yeah.
I mean, he was available off waivers a couple times, I think, before the second half run. But yeah, let's go into sell highs here. My sell high, Draymond Green. He's having a dominant stretch, but at this point in his career, he's been an inconsistent player, and he also gets injured often, more often than not every year. Like he misses a big chunk of time. I'd have to pull the games up over the past couple, but I know it's probably not over 60 games played per year over the past couple of years. And I would be trying to capitalize on his success lately. He's kind of a power forward you draft when you've ran out and you need to fill the position. But he's not the player he used to be, and I think I would be trying to get him off my roster, try to get some guy with upside.
Yeah, I agree on that one. For sure.
Yeah. Never been too
All
big
right,
a
well, if we're all in
Draymond.
agreement. Who do you got, bro?
All right, so my sell high is Kelly Olynyk for the Utah Jazz. We were kind of mentioning this guy almost, I think, back-to-back weeks, a couple weeks ago for like waiver pickups. But this guy, with how he's performing right now, like you could potentially sell him pretty high for a nice, potentially more consistent player. I'm not quite sure what we're seeing from Olynyk with this uptick in performance and just volume in general. He's over performing what he has averaged. He was averaging just 27 fantasy points, and that's bumped up with his recent play. But he was only getting like 26, 25 fantasy points, and now he's getting 30 plus and dropping 40 fantasy points on 33 minutes. It's just a big increase of what has happened. I'm not quite sure what the reason is.
I'd be all over sell high.
Yeah,
he might be the best sell high on here.
It's going to be harder to do because he isn't super high rostered. It's going to be harder to do in the 10-team league, but maybe you can pull it off. He's actually in a 12, or you could.
He's up to 40% rostered. So it's gone up a good bit, I think.
Yeah, it's gone up, but like, who could you get? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For like, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna probably have to package him 2 for 1. Like, if you could package Draymond and Kelly Olynyk, like that profile, I think you could get something really good. Do a 2 for 1.
Yeah. Because I think it is just.
I would be capitalizing because, he's up 5 fantasy points in the last week. Average. So. Great, sell high. Otherwise, you just enjoy the ride because he's been one of the greatest pickups of the year so far for like the bottom of your bench. I mean, can't get much better than this.
Yeah, and his floor is pretty consistent.
I definitely agree.
Well. Consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, see what you can get.
Go ahead, Zach.
And then I'll wrap up sell highs here with De'Aaron Fox. The only reason he's doing so great. The only reason I would even put him on here is because I know that he's a name that could get me something because he does have the history of being really good and he's got the consistent performance of being really good this year as a number 8 point guard in our league right now. He's up at 99% rostered. He's averaging 42 fantasy points. Just great number. He would be even higher. He'd be top 5, but he missed like a week with a little bit of an injury a couple weeks ago, so slowed him down a little bit. But he's back, and he's put up a consistent week of good numbers here, so I'm gonna go back to looking at him for a sell high, just because I am a little worried with his injury history that he has over his career. So I would try and capitalize on that right now, and I'm going to be sending over offers for really anything. And another reason that I'm willing to do it is because he's like, I have like 3 other good point guards on my team. I have Luka. I have the guy on Miami. What's his name?
Kyle Lowry.
I got Kyle Lowry. Yeah, so I just have a lot of good point guards. So I could sacrifice, De'Aaron Fox and get something like I need better shooting guards, basically. So I think I could pull something off with that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think you can, and he has missed a lot of games over the past several years. He's only missed one so far this year. I think just the way he plays. I mean, he was kind of the guy being talked about playing really hard and getting injured every year before John Morant, and he still is that guy. Like, I believe he's gonna miss a good chunk of games at some point this season, and I think you can capitalize, get a guy like Kyrie if you think he's not going to get suspended again. You know what I mean? Get a guy. Just go get a solid player that is hopefully a buy low. I mean, I would try. I think this could work because he is a big name. You could try and package him with like a Kelly Olynyk type for Halliburton. You know, I'd be going after Halliburton if I could. Like, try to go big. Send something big.
Okay.
And Fox could help you get there because he's got the name value. He's got the good average when he is playing. So, yeah, I like it a lot.
That.
Yeah, I'm all over the Halliburton one. I think I might send that over tonight.
Dude, I almost had one done like a month ago, but we didn't get it done. Pretty
Damn.
sad. But it was going to take a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that will take a lot. I'm going to have to look at that. But I think that will wrap it up.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all for listening. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment, tell us how we're doing. Leave us all your fantasy basketball questions, whether it be trades or roster questions or anything like that. You know, we'll give you our best answer and help you out with your teams. And also go follow us on our social media. We got Facebook, facebook.com/Garden of Sports Podcast. We have Twitter, twitter.com/GOSPod 2021. And we have Instagram, instagram.com/Garden of Sports. So go give us those follows. Thank you all so much for listening. And we'll be back here next week with a brand new fantasy basketball episode.
Yes, sir. Thanks, everyone.